Hey, so I'm here to discuss one of the number one questions that I get from people right now in today's market, which is the 6 questions to ask yourself before you sell your house. So the first question that when I receive the question from someone and they say, should I sell my house? I'm going to go over these questions with them and I'm going to ask them and kind of probe and see where their head is at. And normally they'll lead themselves to the right answer of whether or not they're actually ready to sell their home. So here's how I start. So I first say, well, let's discuss the home value. What is your current home value? What is it worth today, and what could we sell the home for? So you can easily search this. There's so many Zestimates and all of these different value tools out there that can give you a quick, less reliable, less accurate number, but it's still pretty quick. It kind of gets you in the ballpark, but a realtor is going to be the person who can give you the most accurate value. So you're going to want to know that because obviously that's the most important part. Hello. If you're selling your house, you got to know what you're going to get for it. Second, so we know how much your house is going to sell for, but how much equity do you have? I mean, if you just bought the house 6 months ago, you're probably not going to have that much equity, so it might not make sense to sell the house. If you bought your house 6 years ago, you're probably looking like you're in a pretty good spot to buy a house. I bought my house in 2012, and that's the bottom of the market. And, it's 2021. Our house has quite a bit of equity. Right now, it makes a lot of sense for us to sell our house. So you've got to look at those numbers. When I'm working with customers, I bring in a net to seller sheet. So what I do is I take your home value and then I list out all of the expenses, including real estate commissions, taxes, transfer fees, anything, dog park fees, title insurance, title fees, attorney fees, all the fees. So I list all of those out. I even try to get you to tell me an estimated mortgage payoff, and I include that as well, so you can see exactly what number you're going to be taking to the bank. Obviously, it's always an estimate because things can come up throughout the process, but you want to know what you're going to come home with at the end of the day. That's really what most people care about, is that bottom line number, what they're going to be getting in their pocket. So kind of like what I was just saying, the third question is like, how much is it going to cost to sell your home? So a lot of people don't really think about that. They think, oh, okay, I got to pay a realtor if you're going to use one, which most home sellers are. But what else? What else is it there in there? So that's where that net sheet also helps to let you see what the fees are that are involved with just the transaction side of things. So when you get to the title company, that's what they're subtracting out. However, what a lot of people don't count on is getting your home ready. So with that, like repair costs, have you been kind of putting off that maintenance item that you know the house needed, but you haven't done yet? So that's going to be a cost of selling your home. And in addition to that, there's going to be some things that you want to do to make the home more appealing. So if you painted a bedroom bright pink, like this wall, you're probably going to want to change that. So yeah, you could probably sell the house without it being bright pink, but you're going to appeal to way more buyers without it being bright pink. So just keep that in mind when you are selling the home. There's more expenses than what's listed on that net sheet. And that's where a realtor can help you to know what repairs and what updates that you need to do and ones that you don't need to do. A lot of times I find that people research online first before they call me, and they're like, well, they'll call me and they're saying, I'm doing all this stuff to get my house ready, doing this, this, and that, and I want you to come in like a few months, but I'm just kind of starting the process. My first thing I'm going to tell you is, hey, let me come look at your house. You may not need to do all that stuff. It may be beautiful and fine just the way it is. And then there's other times where I'm like, well, we need to do these things, or maybe you're not focusing on the right things. A lot of people think that I need to paint and do little things like that. I need to update the kitchen or remodel the bathroom to sell my house, and that's not always true. And sometimes, I'll come in and I'll say to you, well, this home is, you could paint it, but it's not going to hide that the cabinets are from 1960 and they're falling apart. I mean, and you don't want to spend the money to replace the kitchen cabinets. So it just doesn't make sense. So sometimes we go the route of, hey, let's just advertise this as a fixer-upper investment property. So there's so many avenues that you can go, and that's why it's so important to call your realtor first and then start the process. So I always recommend that people call the realtor first and kind of go over what repairs are needed for the home. Fourth, you're going to want to know how long it's going to take to sell your home, right? So if you're moving because you have a job change and you need to be gone in 30 days, you're probably going to help sell that house pretty quickly. But if the job isn't starting for a year or 3 months or 6 months, you're going to time that appropriately. And we're going to look at the days on market average for our area and for your neighborhood and see what is a realistic expectation for how long it's going to take your home to sell when it goes on market. Typically speaking, though, once you get a contract on your home, the average day to actually sell the house and be out is about 30 to 45 days. So a lot of people are surprised at how quick that goes. That 30 to 45 days flies by. Remember, 30 to 45 days does not include marketing time. That's just once you get the contract, if it's financing. So going along with the timing of how long it will take to sell your house, you're going to want to really play into what you're going to do when you sell your house. If you're moving across country, no big deal. You've got to go. It doesn't matter, if you're looking for another home or anything. If you're staying locally, though, that is where it can be a little bit more tricky if you need to buy or sell your house and then buy another house. And a lot of people like to do those things simultaneously. So they like to sell the house and buy a house on the same day. It's very hard and it takes a lot of logistical planning. It's one of the things that I have done many times helping customers with. Honestly, now with the market the way it is a lot harder to get that accomplished just because the speed of how quickly homes are selling. I do typically recommend that people have an alternative plan, whether it be to stay with family for a month or two, move into a short-term rental, rent an apartment, something along those lines when they need to buy and sell in the same area. With that being said, even in this market, I have successfully negotiated several deals or purchases where the homeowner had to sell and then they bought and they closed pretty much at the same time. So buyers are a lot more flexible now because there is such a shortage of homes that they're willing to let the seller stay a little bit after closing to accommodate a move and things like that. So definitely knowing where you're going to go is going to be critical in deciding to sell your home or not. Fifth, we've kind of already hit on this, but home improvements and what you need to do, you're going to want to really go through that and again, talk to your realtor to make sure that you're doing the right things, not the wrong things, and that you're getting the most money for what you're putting into the home. Kind of already talked about this one a lot. I kind of went off track here, but whatever. We're just going however I want to here. How to sell. So kind of hit on this one again. There's a lot of ways that you can sell your home. Most people are using a real estate professional, realtor. I recommend a realtor over a real estate agent. I'll go over realtor versus real estate agent in a different video, but you want to decide if you want to take on the burden of trying to sell a home yourself. For example, I think a lot of people, when I first started my career, I worked, sorry, my little dog Pepper, barking over there. When I first started my career, I worked with a lot of for sale by owners, and and when I did that, I mostly got called from them because they're like, I had no idea how much time would be involved in selling my home when I decided to do this. I thought it was going to be pretty easy, but it's not just the time that's involved, but the marketing, the vendors, the uploading information to the websites, and answering phone calls, answering questions, scheduling showings, all of these things. It's very complicated. It's a quite an ordeal trying to do that, but it is something you can do. I mean, you can always choose to be a for sale by owner. And then, if that doesn't, especially if you have the extra time to do it, if it doesn't work out, you can always reach out to a real estate professional later. And hey, maybe you actually do sell it that way. So either way, it's options. You have several options when it comes to how you're going to sell your home. And I would definitely recommend that you research how, the different ways that you can do that and determine which way is going to be the best for you. And since she so politely introduced herself, I'm going to show you our brand new puppy. This is Pepper. We just got her Tuesday, so a week and a half ago. Can you say hi, Pepper? Hi, Pepper. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. I'm looking forward to sharing more of my experience, expertise, a lot of different videos about crazy stuff that I see every day in real estate, and just really giving you a good idea of what's happening in our local community of Alachua County, Florida. All right, thank you, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye.